Let's give them something to talk about. I see the energy running out. I got a planet to run around. Okay. You ain't do nothing but run your mouth. No, I don't want to be humble now. You doubted me, nothing to talk about.
There we go. Thank you for pulling that down.
Yeah, no worries.
A little wide drunk.
We'll see who did. So we're late. We're sorry we're late. For anybody that actually was going to plug in at 9:30, we get pretty decent. We get pretty decent rewatches. Where we get our most listeners is on when I put it up to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, because people like listening to us. Apparently, they don't like looking at me. That said, the time we do it, like Tuesday at 9:30, is just such an awkward time. So we're broadcasting, by the way, to the Diablo site too, and there's Bruce Wayne. That's so good. So the reason why we're late is because
it's Dale's fault.
I take full ownership,
but in two different aspects.
Well, because I woke up with it. Well, I took my dogs for a walk. I took them for a long walk. I actually rucked. I carried 30 pounds, which was dumb to do before I did what I did this morning.
That's not a good.
And then on the walk, you get a little euphoric. And I want to advise anybody that's out there that wakes up with that feels a little sluggish and they're kind of not looking forward to the day, a little depressed. Go take a walk and take your dogs with you, because your dogs want to go for a walk. And all of a sudden, man, your mood improves, everything else, and you get all kinds of great feelings about what you're going to do for the day. And one of my feelings was, Dale's coming on. Dale's programming for the main site. A really cool thing to do would be to do the workout of the day before we get on with Dale. So I texted Jamie Lee this morning. Okay, so it's maybe 8 o'clock.
He texted me. He was like, I think it was around 8. I would coach this morning. I opened up and finished my last class at 8 o'clock, and I see a text like, let's do Hollyman at 8:30. I was like, okay, I guess that's what I'm doing.
So
he gets here at 8:30.
So we're on with Dale. Well, and the only reason is because when I was having my coffee before my walk this morning, I saw you posted that you did Hollyman. Did you do it today?
No, so I'm like 2 days ahead.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Smart move.
Because you didn't say that.
That's a programmer's move right there.
Yeah, you didn't say that. So I'm looking at it going,
welcome to Hollywood, Craig. Okay, not everything. All right, buddy. We can edit and post as we need.
So I'm thinking, this guy got up this morning, and I thought about it on my walk. I'm like, well, I don't know. It looked awfully bright. So I don't know if it's that bright out there where he is this morning. I'm like, well, screw it. We're going to do it. We'll do it before the match, and we'll be able to talk about Hollyman. And Hollyman, for those of you who don't know, is let me see if I can
after Aaron Hollyman
stage. Yeah. A hero wad, and Dale is programming all this week. By the way, Dale King is CrossFit PSKC. If you don't know who he is, just Google him. I think everybody that's going to be on this podcast knows who you are now. He is a bit famous after producing the documentary Small Town Strong. But he's got an amazing program out there at CrossFit PSKC where they essentially
saving lives,
saving those who are struggling with addiction issues in Portsmouth, Ohio, the home of it's like the ground zero for the opioid epidemic. So that's the quick summary. But he's also been asked by CrossFit to program the workout of the day for 2 weeks. So what does he do the first week? I'm going to do a hero week. Today was Hollywood.
Well, we're leading into Veterans Weekend, Veterans Day on Saturday.
Well, that's right, Saturday.
Was that planned? Was that part of the move?
Yeah. So let's just go down our first rabbit hole.
Yeah, let's do it.
They surprisingly reached out. I got a call from Heather Lawrence, which she's actually just like an hour and a half away from me. She works with Dave on the sport team, and she sends me a text. She's like, "Hey, you got time for a call in 10 minutes?" And I was like, "Oh fuck, there's some
what I do now."
Yeah, I was like, some feathers got ruffled somewhere up at HQ.
Yeah.
You fired again?
Yeah,
I was like,
fired again.
Like, well, I'm not fired, so. She's like, so what would you like to be the next guest programmer? And I was like, of all the things I thought you were going to ask, that was not on the list. So I was like, immediately, fuck yes, I would love to do that. Got all fired up, and then immediately got super fucking nervous. I was like,
yeah, right.
I was like, oh shit! Like I was like, I did not realize, like, oh, let's just put it out there for the entire community just to fucking rip it to shreds if it sucks. But so I went through like I was traveling at the time, so I had some stuff, and I'm like, that meme of the guy on the whiteboard with all that,
the numbers.
yeah. And she's like, "We'll be in touch. Just start thinking of ideas." And then they got back to me and they gave me the date time frame.
Okay.
And it was obviously starting this week. And I was
Right.
like, "Oh, for years at my gym, we do Hero Week in honor of Veterans Day." And I was just like, reply back. I'm like, "Hey, here's my idea. But before I go too far down the rabbit hole," because they're just like, basically, you can do anything as long as it's not too dumb.
Yeah.
And to their credit, they're like, "Oh yeah, hell yes, that's a great idea." So here we are on week 1.
How much time do they give you ahead of time? Like, when did they reach out to you and say these are the dates that you're going to be working with?
I want to say maybe 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so relatively quick.
I want to say I had a week to get them a draft.
Got it.
So it's not. I mean, it's not too.
Did they share? Did they happen to share like what the weeks prior to that was, like leading up to it?
Yeah,
okay, sweet. That's really cool.
Reach out to like, "Are you cool with it?" Then they send you the prior 2 weeks, because the way it's kind of looking now, it's like guest programmer 2 weeks, main site 2 weeks, guest programmer 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So they'll give you the previous 2 weeks ahead of time to kind of bounce it off.
They're basically like bringing it back into their own control and then
then
just leveling it back out. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this week, and did they give you any advice on telling people, like when you talk about it, not to do 7 days of heroes if you're new to CrossFit? Do they? But I guess it's never done that.
No.
I mean, back in the day, when it was
but they always program 3 on 1 off. That's the standard.
Well, and so they kind of give you like a very rough guidelines to follow.
Okay.
And then you guys will see, like, I'm doing 4 on,
okay,
1 off, 1 on, or so 4 on, rest day, Chad, rest day.
Got it.
Because I'm like, well, it's Hero Week. I figured that was the best way to try to get the freshest legs going into Chad as possible.
Right.
Well, that's what Dave Castro talked about too, is like some people may want to continue to follow the 3 on 1 off format. Some may want to go to like 3 on 1 off, 2 on 1 off kind of format. That's cool.
Yeah. And we only had, they came back on 1 workout for this week, and then they came back on 1 workout next week. And it was just, it was really good feedback. We just changed a few things. Since we're already on Tuesday, actually Hollyman was like a plan B for today.
Oh, okay.
I originally had Jack. So Jack is a 20-minute AMRAP, 10 push presses, 10 box jumps, and 10 kettlebell swings.
Okay.
And
that's good, man.
Yeah, they didn't like that because we're going to be using a box again for Chad.
Oh, okay.
So I think, okay, well that's good feedback. You know what I mean?
It was more like equipment stuff versus like movement pattern really overlapping. Okay, that's cool.
So I was like, yeah, I understand that, and then had Hollyman to throw in there. So
yeah, it was a good one.
Hero workouts are a unique and distinguished one of the unique and distinguishing characteristics of CrossFit, and they're one of the things that kind of essentially pay homage to the when we got started. And by that I mean CrossFit got started in the era of 9/11, and it certainly attracted a number of law enforcement officers, military, firefighters, military, police, fire, all of those, because it provides a broad and broad level of fitness, right? So the general physical preparedness for all of those things, CrossFit literally is one of the best things you can do in order to prepare for the unknown and the unknowable. And so I think it was a natural thing for CrossFit essentially to start to honor those that were doing CrossFit and then gave their lives in the line of duty. And that's where these come from. Jamie Lee said today, right before we started, and this is something we do at Diablo, whenever we do a hero workout at Diablo, and I would encourage other people to do this as well, is make sure your coaches know who they're doing it for, who the individual is. These are tribute workouts.
Yep.
And this one is for Aaron Hollyman, he's 27 years old in 2004 that was killed by an explosive device that was in Iraq underneath the vehicle that they drove over. And it's just a really, really neat way to pay homage to those that died in the line of service, for their family, for their friends, to have a tribute workout like this is awesome. And what it does, it gives you, like Jamie mentioned it to me right before, because I was
we were kind of a clusterfuck to get it started.
Oh my God. It was, we had music issues, everything else. We actually didn't
music
start.
issues.
We didn't start. So this podcast at 9:30, we didn't start till 9:00. Actually, a couple minutes after 9, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. It's like, fuck, we got to get this.
Yeah.
We're going live. Let's go.
So I had to scale. By the way, I was going to compliment you because you did it. You started at 225 and went to 185. And then I started at 165, and even those got hard. At 165, they got hard. I struggle with handstand push-ups, but
damn handstand.
But man, I thought about Aaron. I had to cap it at 20 rounds just so I could get in here even a few minutes late. So I did 20 rounds in 27 minutes.
25.
Yeah, Jamie Lee did 25 rounds. He did RX. He went full 225. He would have finished probably right around 30 minutes. I think.
I've seen that man do cleans before. That's easy for Jamie Lee.
It's the big gymnastics, man.
Yeah, the handstand push-ups started to catch up. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I started going singles. Like, I should have started this a long time ago.
Yeah. I really like this workout choice though, Dale, because it's one of those ones where you look at it and you go, 5-3-1. I can do 5-3-1, and just one power clean. I can do that. And then it catches up to you in the middle, and pretty soon you're standing around a little while. But it also gives you time to reflect because it's so long on what you're doing, why you're doing it. Yeah. And it's neat. It's a great choice.
Yeah, it's like 30 rounds, man. I don't give a shit what you're doing. It's like when you start, I'm start clicking them off, and I get like the first 5. I'm like, oh, I'm not even anywhere near.
Yes.
I went the insurmountable volume that I have.
Yes, I can't do that. So I can't write one at a time. I went through and put 15 hash marks and just marked it, like erased it after every 2. And somebody walks by, she's like, "Oh, you only got 3 left." She's like, "Well, shit, I got 6 left."
Yeah. So great workout. That's So Dale will be programming through this week and then into next week as well. Are these the workouts that you do at your gym?
Yep, we're doing them. Yep, they're just doing. Actually, it's the noon class right now, so they're about midway through it.
Are you normally programming for your gym?
I will do. So what we have is, I think we have 5 or 6 coaches in rotation right now. So each coach gets a week.
Oh.
And then I have like final edit veto authority. And it depends on like what's going on in that point of the year, but they kind of very given like far left and right limits. And it turns into more like professional development for us.
Yeah.
So like, they submit it to me. I tell them it sucks or it doesn't suck, and here's why it sucks. And and they can kind of learn from it. And then that way it helps them do their own programming for their clients, or it's just I think it's a good, like it's a time suck for sure.
Yeah.
But for me, it's more about development for those guys.
Are they coming up with their own lesson plan per class? So if they're writing the week, do they write out a lesson plan that coaches continue to follow, or like an outline at least? So
we'll get 5 days. Really, it's just 5 days. So it's Monday through Friday, because we kind of have a standard thing we do on Saturday. And then they write the workout, and then they write the intention stimulus.
Cool.
Is what we want.
Perfect.
Your members enjoy that? Your members enjoy that?
Yeah. So now we've always done that, and then it's always like, whose fucking week is this? Oh,
yeah.
Or they try. It's a guessing game on.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And that way too, because there's just everybody has their own flavor.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it gets good variety, and the members really dig it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, wall balls and power cleans. Craig's programming again. Rowing. Holy crap. Rowing, wall balls, cleans, farmer carries.
3 days in a row. What the fuck?
Yeah, what? Seriously, bro?
3 on, 1 off.
Yeah. And then I'll do my own
Craig, back to the earlier point about like CrossFit's roots being firmly planted in the mill law enforcement. When CrossFit posted Liam yesterday, backstory about that is my good friend Chase Millsap, who's the director producer on Small Town Strong, actually served with Liam, and so it was his idea to kind of bring that one up. And then his sister commented on CrossFit's Instagram, "Want to thank you guys for doing this. Liam's watching from Valhalla."
That's
And I
awesome.
was like, "Oh shit! Like that's exactly why we do that kind of stuff right there."
Yeah.
Because it's more obviously it is about honoring that warrior.
Yeah.
But the longer that's me personally, it's gone on since I left the military. It's ensuring the legacy and memory to their family members as well, because they're the ones here. So that it meant a lot. It meant a lot to see that.
Liam Nevins, 32, of Middlebury, Vermont. He was killed by small arms fire while conducting combat operations in Afghanistan in 2013. He was assigned to Operational Detachment Alpha, 9521 Bravo Company, based out of Fort Carson, Colorado. His friends remember him as a cut above when it came to fitness. He enjoyed hiking, running outdoors, as well as full gamut of CrossFit movements from Olympic lifting to gymnastics. And he's survived by his mother Victoria, father William, his fiancee Julie Hoon, and his sisters Maeve and Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's so important to just set aside the scores, set aside your time, and I always try to emphasize that going into classes. It's like there is more to this than just what your score is, and honestly, I just don't like even collecting scores, because we always collect the score at the end of the day. And I think the last time we did a hero workout, I was like, you know what? I'm done collecting scores for these. Like I want to really drive home the intention of why we're doing it, and not have people think about what their score is, but more so think about why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. That's it.
And that's, I want to say that's okay, but it's also, I think it's really important. There's people get curious about the cult of CrossFit and what brings us together. And it's things like this. And there's an incredible amount of divide in our country now, over the last few years especially, but even more so now. And this is just an amazing way and I know it happens in our community. You bring people together, and no matter what your background is, what your color is, what your sexuality is, all of that stuff. When you go through and you pay homage to someone that essentially was fighting to keep our country a place where we can have differences of opinion and be different and express those opinions freely without prosecution or persecution, either one. That's what this is about. And it's a really cool thing. And again, it's unique to CrossFit. There's just no other methodology that's doing something like this.
Nope.
And it was born just simply out of hey, let's do a tribute workout.
It's another organic thing,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and like it's honestly, I can't remember how long ago we started doing it, years ago. But every year it's like the challenge, just kind of like what you're saying. It's like go 5 for 5 is our whole like mantra that week. Go 5 for 5. If you got to come in and do a double day or come in on the weekend, it's not about the time. It's about getting those 5 workouts in a row. And I'll never forget the first year we did it. I was like, okay, well, this is a meat grinder. Like no one's going to want to. We'll have the standard.
No one's going to want to come next week.
Yeah, that's
5 and 0 for 5.
Yeah.
future Dale Staub. But
Dale Staub.
but it's the highest attended week all year round.
Oh wow.
Hands down, every year it's the most attended week.
Really?
And that's when it's
Wow.
solidified. When you lay a challenge for people, that's what they rally around.
Yeah. That's really cool. That's
significant. And I think that's a lesson for other affiliate owners, and you pay attention. I think, while we crave humans as humans, and I'll tell people this, one of the reasons why people like doing CrossFit is because internally we crave hard work. Our DNA craves it. We may not mentally crave it, but our DNA craves it. And after we're done with it, we feel amazing. But I also think we crave honor and tribute, right? The ability to pay people back for what they've done for us. And CrossFitters also want to help, and all of that is manifested through their effort in a workout like this. And that's fascinating that it's your most attended week. Just that's like, seriously, I was driving here going, this is the dumbest thing ever to come do this workout this morning after I haven't really prepared for it, and I was dreading it.
You said I saw the text. I was like, cool, let's go.
Yeah, it's texted
Jamie. Not looking forward to the handstand push-ups.
I literally sent the text to Jamie, kind of going, okay, if he says no, I'll do it later today or tomorrow or something like that.
He was anticipating to say no.
100%. But that's it. That's really cool. And I think that's why it is important for your gym, as an affiliate, to make sure that you're including these things, even if they don't align with your, figure out
overall program.
Yeah, your overall programming, your overall programming strategies. Figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
You're not gonna,
Well, yeah, and then we even do every year we come up with little commemorative patches too. So if you went 5 for 5 at the end of the 5th workout, the coach slaps you with the patch that you don't pay for. It's earned.
That's pretty cool.
And people have years of their little patch collections.
That's a cool idea.
So it's just another little way.
Great idea.
Of just challenging them, but rewarding them for what their resilience and ability to stick it out. Because nowhere, I mean, listen, we're preaching to the choir here, but
yeah, we are.
Nowhere else do you get that. You don't get it at your job.
No.
Especially if you work for the government, you're rewarded for incompetence half the time, not performance. But this is a place where that recognizes and rewards effort and hard work and being a good person.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is one of the few places that do that in current culture and society.
Yeah, that's right. I've been looking at or thinking about how I can give more recognition, memorabilia to my members. I had a member come up to me and said, "Hey, yesterday was my 1,000th visit," and I'm like, "Oh, hey, right on, congratulations,
high five!"
That's amazing. And in my head, I'm thinking, "Oh man, we
missed opportunity."
Yeah, well, and he says to me, he goes, "I want a fucking banner
T-shirt."
I like this guy.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then he goes, and I want it right up front, man. I want my name and I want my picture on my face on it. I'm like, okay, we're not going to go that far. But I started thinking about it. And then I, of course, then I've been reading about other affiliates that have done the same thing. And they've either got little signature boards where people hit marks or numbers of
could
visits.
do a T-shirt. Get the press and just...
Well, that's what I talked to Yvonne about, is doing a T-shirt. Yeah. But Diablo, in our 17-year history, we've been terrible at this kind of recognition. I have been terrible at this kind of recognition. So what I did, here's what you
get an email.
I don't know how many members are listening to this, but they maybe shouldn't be listening.
We got a few.
I'm going to say right here, one of those things that I shouldn't say is the owner while the members are Oh, here we go.
Travis to the rescue.
Travis is jumping in. He's like, "I got you."
So I went and pulled up my visit list. Like, well, let me just see how many people have been over 1,000.
Oh, that's a bad move.
Yeah, we have over 100 members over 1,000. We have a couple over 3,000. We have it. 30 that are over 2,000. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a mess trying to figure this out.
Wow, dude, that's I want everybody right now to do some back of the bar napkin math. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
Like that is insane for that many members have that many visits, man. That speaks to you guys.
Well, thank you. And now I got to figure out how to how I can give them recognition so that I can retain them, because they're all going to be pissed off,
Especially if they're listening to this podcast.
Yeah. Let me hide this. I'll hide the relevant information. I'll show you this list.
Oh, for how many members?
Yeah, I actually have it. I'll pull it up, but I'll pull this up.
I'm curious where Miles is at, because when we had Beyond the Whiteboard, we had remember he was like almost 2,000 workouts like posted. Right. This is like in 2011, 12.
Let me see. Share screen.
He's still here.
Yeah, Miles still here.
Yeah,
I mean, I
wonder how many visits he's got.
Here we go. First visit report. All right, so let me see if I can blow this up a little bit.
Oh, dang. Kathy. Yep. I believe that. Luis, he was on the show a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, look at this, dude.
Look, here you go. There's the recognition. Well done.
I'm scrolling down. I'm at 40 members, and we're at 1,400 visits.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, I got work to do. So then I was like, instantly, I'm like, yeah, we'll give a patch at 100, and then we'll do a patch at 500. And I look at the list. I'm like, there's no way. Oh, I feel
Travis, you got any ideas for that?
To my Diablo members who are listening to this podcast, I love you all. Thank you for all of the visits. I suffer from ADHD. Things like this are very difficult for me to plan ahead. I'm just learning about Dale giving patches for the Hero Week.
We did patches last year for the turkey trot.
Yeah, we
turkey
did.
ruck.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did turkey ruck. Oh,
there you
boy.
go.
Yeah, and I can hear it right now that like Kathy Simon's 3,000 visits. All I got is all I got is this fucking turkey ruck patch. Oh my god. Anyways, sorry, we got way off on a tangent here, but I think that I love the recognition like you do here a week, and I'm instantly thinking because every year our charity event, we do Grace, and we find a local charity to give the funds to, patting ourselves on the back. This week was James. Last week was we did it for James Sharonek, who was paralyzed from the neck down after a mountain biking accident. A gym owner. CrossFit gym owner. He had lost 200 pounds, became a coach, not owns a gym, but manages the gym, but his family's taking care of him. Now he's slowly regaining some feel in his limbs. He may end up walking again, but our gym raised like $3,700 for him. And again, there's an opportunity, right? So we did that, and our gym wanted to help, wanted to support, which they did big time, but it'd be cool to have something to memorialize that.
Yeah.
Like a patch, right? So that's a great idea. Fantastic idea.
I'm sure I just stole it from somebody, just so we're
all. Well, I mean,
that's a good idea. It's good best practices, right?
Yeah.
Well, and that's, I mean, not to get off on a tangent, and this is, I got to let you talk. Tell me to shut up, Jamie, if I start talking too much.
You're starting to sound a little water drunk.
Well, I know I am a little water drunk, but I'm getting off on a tangent. This is a good point. Like, Dale is doing something that he probably stole from somebody else.
Yeah.
And so we get a lot of there are not a lot. We get some affiliate owners that bitch and moan that, CrossFit's not doing enough for them. Why am I paying my $3,000? Yet there is 20 years of content from affiliate owners, and 20 years of content and expertise.
Just go to that message board.
Yeah, go to the old message boards, go to Facebook groups,
Journal,
go to wherever
CrossFit
else,
Journal.
CrossFit Journal, Google it, YouTube's got everything now. Go to podcasts, listen to this podcast, listen to all the other podcasts. There's so much there's so many ideas out there for affiliate owners who are just getting started on how to on things you can do to grow your business, retain your customers. I'm still gleaning stuff from the community. We don't expect CrossFit to deliver stuff for you to do that. You are in a unique market and you have a unique personalities in your clientele. They're scattered all around the country. I wish they were all in Santa Cruz, but they're scattered. This work from home shit where they all work. All the HQ people work all over the fucking country in their kids' basement, in their basements and stuff. With their phone and they maybe go to a CrossFit gym once a week. Don't expect them. Sorry, that Harold, don't clip that section and post that.
I'd just be happy if they do. I mean,
but don't expect them to pull content and understand your community and what you're doing. They'll pull the big picture stuff. There's a ton of great CrossFit content,
like the Open.
The Open, yeah. Well, and not even the game stuff, but I went to CrossFit's website, YouTube page the other day, which is hard to find because they freaking canceled the thing, restarted. So it's not it doesn't have a ton of subscribers. It needs more subscribers. So tell all your community to subscribe to it. But there's some amazing videos there. But don't count on them to know your local market. However, you could reach out to other affiliates that might know similar things about your market and get tons of ideas and content.
Like, speaking of an idea, Dale, the Gauntlet, how did that become? Like, was that an idea from another affiliate, or?
I mean, that was like.
By the way, will you please tell people? So if you watch Small Town Strong, the documentary, one of the themes throughout it, the underwriting theme is the preparation for the Gauntlet workout at the end. Can you tell us what the Gauntlet is and then how you came up? That's a great question.
Yeah. So the Gauntlet is our annual summer competition. It's really the only competition we do all year round. Started in 2010 as like an individual comp. This was around the time frame of like sectionals.
2010.
And so my first experience was like going up to Columbus and volunteering for Rogue when they were building out sectionals up there. And it was like Bill was just making up all the shit to do.
So he was programming it?
Yeah, Bill programmed the whole thing. And I was like, oh, so you just make this shit. I mean, this is what I'm thinking to myself. Oh, you just make this shit up. Like, that's like, so I didn't need to ask permission to be like, well, and so it started as just like an in-house competition thing only for our members. We probably had 50 members at the time or whatever. And then it just like grew and grew and grew. And then we made it a team of 4 competition because I think team competitions are just significantly funner than individual. And then once it became team comp, then I was like able to, my whole thing was, well, let's just go down another rabbit hole. Do you know Josh Bunch, Craig? Do you ever heard of him?
No, I know the name.
He was like one of the original affiliate owners here in Ohio. Practice CrossFit was his.
Oh yeah. No, I know Practice CrossFit. Yeah.
So Tyler owns Practice. He bought it from Josh now.
Right.
But Josh had a competition called Back at the Ranch, and it was like the most absurd, insane shit you could ever imagine. Like, for example, we made it one year to like the finals, and you had to like carry 2 bags of ice on like a 400-meter loop, and then you swam in a pond. This was the coolest, this was the coolest athletic thing I've ever done in CrossFit. So then you swam in the middle of the pond. There was a crane that hoisted ropes down into the pond, and it was like a 30-foot rope. So you just inched your way up, touched the crane, and you just dropped.
No,
that's awesome.
And I was like, this is the coolest shit I've ever done. It only lasted a couple years for obvious reasons.
Before the crane company pulled in, you are not renting from us anymore.
And it was just at one of his members' farms.
Okay.
Wow.
And so I'm like, I'm stealing a bunch of stuff from that. And so then I just remembered a bunch of stuff that we would do in the military for like team building exercises. And then use the local environment here. There's about 400 meters away is the Ohio River. So that's where and we just do the craziest stuff. I think one of my favorite, like we've done like axe throwing involved in it. As a way to like, if you hit the target, it subtracted minutes off your time.
Accuracy, yeah.
And then the coolest thing was the finals event was like this bench press thing, but you had to like figure out a puzzle. So I briefed this whole thing, and at the very end, I got a chain and then locked the bar to the rig, and then you had to figure out the combination as like a puzzle to unlock the barbell to start
I like that.
the movement. And I got I thought people were going to kill me, like because they're good at exercising.
Oh yeah.
Some of us ain't the best at thinking. So when I threw that little thing out there, I got death stares, but the crowd loved it. So just shit like that. Like we just try to make it the most unorthodox CrossFit competition in Southern Ohio.
It's fun. It's fun to get creative with stuff like that. Like we've done a bunch of like in-house comps, and one of the years we had a floater event. Remember the ski? We had a Nerf gun.
Oh yeah.
And we set up a cup, and you had a skier.
Like a biathlon.
Yeah, biathlon. So then you come off and you go and you shoot the Nerf gun at the cup, and if you knock it, you accumulate points. But it was like within the partner, like the partner couldn't start until they started shooting. So it was just like a constant like AMRAP of how many times could you knock the cup off.
Yeah.
There's a race in Vermont called the Death Race, and it's 24 hours. And we had a member that did it once and didn't make it. And only one or two people finished this race. But one of the things he said that I thought was really cool was at the bottom of the hill, there's a whole bunch of Legos in a box. The design for the Legos was at the top of the hill. So you had to run up, you run up to the top of this hill, sprint to the top of this hill, look at the design, and then come back down and build it.
Yep.
And then there's a judge down there telling you whether it's right or not. And if you don't get it right, and you have to,
dude, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and that's that mental challenge.
I mean, that's a 24-hour race too.
Yeah,
like how's your brain working?
The only mental challenge that we have at CrossFit is just remembering how many reps and rounds you have, and about 25% of my members can't get that right. Maybe more.
Yeah. Like, why are you getting chips for a 5-round workout? You do not need chips. Put the chips back. I'm not allowing you to have the chips. That's ridiculous.
There are some members, though, that I'm like, this is 5 rounds. Go get chips.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. That's cool, though. So that's how the gauntlet. Okay. And
yeah, man.
But nobody told you how to do that, right? You had to figure that out as an affiliate owner. You had to figure that out on your own.
Way to bring it all the way back around. You're right. That's exactly right. These are things that you do on your own, and then it becomes sometimes it becomes if it doesn't go well, you don't repeat it next year.
Yeah. So this year, we built these like a high jump kind of whatever that thing is that they jump over. I was like, dude, I want like heavy ass hay bales. And we're going to do like an 8-foot. So ladies had to do a 6-foot, and then guys had to chuck this sumbitch over an 8-foot. And then I was like, oh, that's perfect. Because then if they knock the PVC pipe over, it doesn't count, and everybody gets all pissed and frustrated. On paper, it was awesome. After the first heat, the hay bales were destroyed. Destroyed, and I was not accounting for those hay bales to be destroyed. Luckily, it was we call it a not so serious division.
Yeah.
So we're like, audible, and we just got heavy D balls instead of hay bales, and we were able to make a change on the fly. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it works great until it doesn't sometimes.
And what I'll tell affiliates that are thinking about coming up with crazy competitions like this, the first year or two that you do it, or the wild, or the ideas that you have, just don't put CrossFit's name on it. We don't need it. I don't need
the shit out of it. Do not. Like,
yes.
Like, this is what people don't. And the film kind of showed a little bit.
A really good point.
But don't just test an event. Test the events in the order that they're going to do it during the day. Like, don't and fine tune it as you go, and don't present that product until it's been wire tested.
It's a smart move.
That's really, really good advice, because there's affiliates that try stuff And I know how that happens. You get busy, you get everything else. You're like like Dale said, hey, that this looked really great on paper, but then he called an audible. And don't be afraid to call audibles either.
And something like I was pissed because I knew there was a risk involving the hay bales, but I thought the reward was worth it.
Yeah.
Sure as shit, it just like pinched me in the ass.
Yeah.
It was worth a shot.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah, and that's the thing is this collective knowledge, and then we'll do like a after action report after everything, and learn from there. And somebody will present an idea, and I'll be like, "Well, in 2014 we tried something similar," and then somebody like almost killed themselves trying to do that, and always never underestimate the stupidity of a CrossFit athlete doing something.
Or even just their general understanding of what you're doing.
Right. Like
you might have something complex, and if you haven't run through with somebody that doesn't know what it is or what isn't part of the design, it's an easy way to miss.
If you present an obstacle as a challenge, they may not use the smartest way of overcoming that obstacle. You just be like, holy shit, I never would have thought somebody would do that.
You didn't say I couldn't do that.
Exactly.
It is cool to have these types of annual events. We do an annual turkey ruck where it started as a turkey trot, and we create a hairball course for them to with obstacles and exercises along the way. But it's something that people look forward to. And then it's another, again, I look for as an affiliate owner, I try to think, I try to make it as dumb as possible for myself and my wife to do this. All I'm thinking about is I want hooks in my customers, reasons for them to come back tomorrow. And the turkey trot and creating an event like that for us, and now it's a turkey ruck, is a cool way to get people excited. And not only that, and I knew one something I want to ask you about the gauntlet. For our turkey ruck that we do, they can bring their friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a way for everybody to get to know each other, hang out, have coffee, talk, and it's casual. But then it's also a unique challenge that they want to come and do on Thanksgiving Day. We close the gym. Is your gauntlet open to anybody, or is it members only?
No, it's actually the way it's gone now is we may have one team from the gym do it.
Oh wow!
Really?
Everybody else wants to volunteer and work it.
Oh, okay.
So everybody would rather volunteer and work the event than actually compete in it, because we'll have everybody from like Cleveland, Ohio, down to Lexington, Kentucky, want to come do it.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and now we've always kind of historically. Now, honestly, it's becoming more of an excuse to have a party. So now, like, we get bands and stuff, and my buddy owns a bar up the street, and so we always flood the bar afterwards, and there's a band playing, and so now everybody, the out of town folks will plan to stay that night, and then everybody just kind of hangs out. The competition is an excuse to hang out. Is all is all it really is.
That's really
there are few events within the CrossFit world now where we can that really speaks to what created the growth of the games. Part of the reason why the growth of games, growth of competing, is because it was an opportunity for CrossFitters from all over to get together.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the reasons originally that we loved going to sectionals and to all the local events, and we'd set up tents, we'd hang out all day, we would drink beer and whatever else. But that's a really cool thing there that you do.
And I feel like that's been lost.
It has been lost
since 2018,
probably,
if not before.
That was kind of a big.
Well, that was a big turn.
shift.
That was a big turning point. But but that's interesting, and we can probably try and speculate as to why that is.
It's actually probably close. It's probably closer to when we switched it to sectional or to super regionals.
Yeah,
because there was a time where we had 3 or 4 competitions going on in a weekend. It's like, what are you doing this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be over here. Oh, well, I'm going over here. And it's like it was like almost every other weekend there was some kind of event going on. And then when they shifted it to super regionals, and it made it so much harder for people to qualify on, you saw a big dip in just overall competition attendance. Like people just didn't really want to do it as much.
I think like this is something I kind of think about too, is like the generational anthropological like study of CrossFitters, where they're at in their journey.
Yeah.
10, 15 years ago, I almost considered myself a CrossFit athlete. Like I was all like not quite, but yeah, I was like, man, I'm going to take this super serious. And in a way, that took the community fun out of it.
Yeah.
Because I became like a lot of people become so cutthroat and then looking at people as competitors instead of like, dude,
Comrade.
let's just come to the gauntlet, be on my team or be on another team, and let's just hang out afterwards.
Mhm.
And now, like a lot of those guys, I'm just speaking for myself. Like I could give a shit less about even where I'm at, because I know at 43, I'm not going to be where I was at 33.
Mhm.
But I have fun just having the opportunity to get together with folks.
Yeah.
And I think that can come back. And some people, rightfully so, like they're looking at the sport as their profession.
Yeah.
Not so much for like having an opportunity to chill out and be around good people.
It's like recreational, like playing softball versus
There's a competition out here, the West Coast Classic, that Ben Alderman and who else?
That's NorCal Classic.
Oh, the NorCal, NorCal Classic. I'm sorry, NorCal Classic.
Yeah, Alderman and
CrossFit Anywhere.
Brain farting. Blair
Morrison.
Yeah,
sorry, Blair. But they put it together, and they're OGs. They've been around a long time, and they're trying to create that Aromas Ranch vibe. And it went, and people that went here said it's really cool, and there's tents and people hang out.
Good, man.
It's a lot of work.
Oh.
And so let me ask you this question, because it's a lot of work. Is this something you guys break even on? Do you lose money on? Do you charge people for it?
Oh yeah, we charge people for it. I think we're like $275 for a 4-person team, and we try like the goal this year will be 30 teams. The biggest cost is really just staff costs for that day, really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just depends on what you want to do, man. Like,
exactly, yeah.
If you want to get worms and if you want to buy all this other shit, then you're just.
If you want to rent a crane to hang ropes.
Yeah. So I would say like we try to be a little bit in the black. We don't look at it as a big money maker.
Yeah.
If we lost money, honestly, we wouldn't do it.
Okay.
But
you got you had those event organizers like Ben and Blair. I look at them and I'm like, man, I hope they're making some money, because I remember what we used to do. At one point we were doing 4 competitions a year. Organized competitions.
Yeah.
And man, they were a lot of work.
That was also part of the fact that we had an equipment company. So it was an opportunity for us to kind of set up a store and sell shoes and barbells and stuff.
Yeah. We've gone up and down, but like this is it. Like this is our annual event. And we don't we do get some sponsors from the community that pitch in to like do little advertising pieces with us.
Local business owners and stuff.
Yeah, and obviously they're all members of the gym. They want to plant their business logo on all the T-shirts, and but it's just cool.
I would encourage affiliates, so especially newer affiliates that are coming on board and then they're in their first 5 years. We did it at Diablo. Dale is doing it out there at PSKC. There are a lot of other affiliates that have done it a lot of years. Now it's your turn. So you're coming up, and I want to challenge all those newer affiliates. If you haven't hosted a competition, I want you to host a competition, and then let us know. And we'll be there. We'll send our people. We'll try and send our people there. There's Mamba over here, that new guy that came.
Yeah.
That he had a little competition at his
gym.
Did? Yeah. And we'll try and fill things up for you. But you guys got all the energy, man. We want you to do it, and you're going to learn so much. And you might actually, what's cool is if you do it right, you can get a nice chunk of change that you can invest back in your gym, because that's what we did. If we ever made money, it just went right back into the gym.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I honestly think like if you were grooming somebody to be a CrossFit affiliate owner, like that is a check mark you want.
Yes.
I mean, like that is a good professional development thing.
That's a good point.
And it's something I've if I've gone through it, I always like, so for us, if you're a new coach, you have to lead an event. Like it is one of the most stressful, pressure tested thing. And I get kind of dickish with them, like leading into rehearsals, because whatever can go wrong will, unless you plan and account for that ahead of time.
Yeah.
And like if you can lead an event with 150 athletes over half of a day going through there, that's just going to make you a better coach.
It would be great if on Instagram, Twitter, but not many CrossFitters go to Twitter, but Instagram or Reddit, if before people were allowed to bitch or complain about the open or work or the one of the competitions that they go to, that it screens them for, have you ever worked at or have you ever run an event yourself? No, then okay, then
shut up.
Shut the fuck up. You're not allowed to make a complaint.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of antagonists on social media about competitions and judging and all of that. And every time I see it or even experience it, like when we were down at semifinals and we had the judging snafu down there, I have a tremendous amount of grace.
Yep.
Because I get pissed and then I'm like, okay, I know what Adrian's going through.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know the number of people he's got. I watched the judges, a few judges, when, all these volunteers are amazing people, these volunteers, or the judges that were volunteers. And I watched them in the briefing, and then I watched, one judge looking away, not paying attention. And as I'm watching, I'm going, oh, you just like those small little things. So that's probably the judge that's going to have an issue later on, wasn't paying attention, wasn't doing, but
they're volunteering for all day.
Yeah. And keeping all that under control is so hard. And then again, like Dale said, athletes will figure out ways to do things differently.
Yeah.
You can't account for ingenuity and stupidity. Yeah. and so going through that as a new affiliate owner, or even a CrossFit level 1 coach or level 2 coach, is spending some time in that arena. You'll get a deeper understanding and appreciation, which will help make it better for everyone, rather than just going online and saying, competition sucked because.
Yeah, it's a great exercise in operational planning.
Yeah.
And your operation just happens to be that event or that competition.
That's right.
Coming up with the workouts is the easiest part to do it. Like, do you have enough chalk? Are the medics on standby? Has everybody signed the waiver? Are you on your timeline? What is your timeline? Have you organized all your heats correctly? Has everybody been communicated to effectively leading in so they know what to expect day of? Is the music on point? Hell, the fucking thing that drives me crazy the most is the fucking scorekeeping. Like,
oh God.
Or I people know where they stand with me by if I choose you to be the scorekeeper. They know I entrust your intelligence and your judgment making if you are my scorekeeper. Because it just looks like a shit show of score sheets coming in.
Oh my God.
Typing them into the system, ensuring it sorts correctly, and blah 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 blah.
Yep.
We've seen some.
Remember we tried you had to log it.
Oh yeah, we tried electronic login.
We tried like a Google form where you had to submit your own score.
that didn't go well.
That was a shit show.
There was one local competition here, and it was really big. It was the Contra Costa Throwdown.
Yeah.
The guy ran a great competition. A lot of new people, and he would have.
It was a big event. There's a lot of
200 to 300 athletes competing.
It was out of school too, so he had the whole school set up.
Yeah, and he had gone through a divorce like 6 months prior to this most recent version of it, and his ex-wife got got a hold of it got into the scoring system game day.
Fucked it all up
and decided to mess with the scoring system. Like these are things you
So
cannot
bad.
plan. Now, honest to God, this happened
Yeah.
where the ex-spouse got into the scoring system to purposefully disrupt the scoring system in the middle of the competition. And this poor guy, I won't name his name.
Yeah.
This poor guy, man, he literally was in full-blown tears.
Yeah.
He's
going through some shit.
Yes.
And then that pops off.
Oh, and the whole 200 athletes, no scores. Like, oh, and he salvaged it.
Yeah, he did.
We salvaged it. We said, okay, here's what you're going to do. Here's how it's going to go.
Poor guy.
Yeah. But that's the kind of thing that can happen at competition. I think it's important I think it is important because I think these competitions add a tremendous amount of value. Again, like I said, we're coming back to our original point. They bring people together to celebrate CrossFit and what we do.
Kind of like an affiliate cup could do.
Kind of like an affiliate cup could do.
I got some ideas.
Yeah. So because Dave reached out to me about an affiliate cup, and Dave Castro is genuinely trying to bring back the feeling of the affiliate cup and the true affiliate cup. And so he reached out to get my opinion on it. It was interesting. He said in his most weekend review, he also reached out to Rich Froning, which
it's not really an affiliate cup.
No comment. I love Rich. Greatest. He's the GOAT.
Amazing athlete. Yeah, for
Rich
sure.
Is the GOAT in my opinion, and he loves CrossFit and he honors CrossFit and he comes on other podcasts when I know annoys the hell out of him. Yep. But I'm not sure he's the best judge of what makes a.
Are you saying like Roman didn't grow up in Cooksville? Like
neither did the girls at the last year that they won it.
Oh my God. China Cho flying in from Hawaii.
I love
me some Roman. I love me some Rich, but
would you guys rally an affiliate team if it was a little bit wider open as far as
a true affiliate?
Like, imagine like pulling people from within your affiliate to represent your affiliate.
Dude, I think like we were super on the cusp one year, about 10 years ago, when it was kind of like that, and it really. Everybody who was trying to consider themselves an athlete at that point in time, like it was a rallying cry. Like they're repeating open workouts 3 times to get the score to try to push the team close to getting the invite to regionals. I think it's a great. If you're going to do it, why not? And I get it. I do understand. Like, how do you
manage that?
How do you manage that? It's like asking somebody's like the 10-year-old stud who is 13, like, well, we need to see your birth certificate to ensure you're actually on the little league team and you're not. Like, how do you who's going to manage everything?
Who's going to manage that? That's exactly what I think. Like, who's going to?
But if it can be done, it's something that would absolutely bring value to the affiliates, and it would be something now. As the owner, it could be like it's a driving call to get people to sign up for the open that want to do it.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. I could go.
How are you doing on time? By the way, you okay on time,
brother? This is my number one thing to do today.
Oh, you're awesome. Okay,
thank you.
So just as a big picture thing, I used to way back in the day, we used to think, I don't want CrossFit to have my member data. They don't need to have my member data. And they were getting it anyway when we did the open, of course. They would get the people that had that data. And then now as I've, matured as a business owner and I see what MindBody does with my clients' data and how they market to them and tell them to go to the yoga class down the street or the Orange Theory, or Orange Theory is having a sale. This is stuff they do to our customer base. They've got all of my customer data since 2000, since we signed up with MindBody back in 2007 or something like that. And now I think, shit, CrossFit should have had that data, because if we were all, and this is something that I think, looking back, and CrossFit probably regrets this too, is creating a client management system that affiliates could use. Because if we were all on a CrossFit management system, shit, I paid MindBody whatever fees, 2.5% for the credit card fees, and then plus a software fee every month. I'd rather give that to CrossFit.
Yep.
Right. So you give it to CrossFit, and CrossFit could get it in exchange for the affiliate fees. So instead of the affiliate fees, they can collect, the credit card fees and a software fee, that'd be freaking great money.
Mhm.
And not only that, here's what they would have. This is coming back to Dale's point, is they would know where every athlete is.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have to do the, hey, let me see where you've been training.
Yeah.
Well, you've been checking in at over at, PSKC. It looks like you've been there checking in there for 6 months. You can be on that team.
Mm-hmm.
If we were all on the same software.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, CrossFit would probably have a higher valuation because they got all the data, because that data is so valuable.
Mm-hmm.
CrossFit has all these people that have done that. You look at all the people, if you take from now and you look all the way backwards, from now back to 2002, and you look at everybody that's done CrossFit, I'm wondering how many people does CrossFit have the data on for all those people? And that's, it's got to be a few million people, maybe more, but I think I'd have to guess it's over 1 million have done CrossFit, and CrossFit probably has about 25% of those people's data, meaning name and an email address of that. And they yet my Body, Zen Planner, Wodify, they have it all. Those three combined.
Mm-hmm.
And CrossFit might, and I don't know if this is going to happen, but I would encourage CrossFit or the tech people at CrossFit or Dawn to start, having meetings with those people, having meetings with Mind Body, having meetings with Zen Planner, and going, hey, look, here's what percentage of your revenue comes from my affiliates. I want that data.
Mm-hmm.
I want that information. There's something there, because that data is very valuable for CrossFit in terms of marketing and growing the company. It creates an incredible valuation, and maybe take some heat off them to produce revenues that that we know that everybody knows they're under.
Mm-hmm.
The data, but then it can make a better experience for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's big. That's me going off again on a tangent. Sorry.
No, I'm here for it, man. So what would you? So would the affiliate cup be integrated into the games?
Yeah.
Or would you still allow
we had a whole podcast last week. We kind of broke this down, and I ended up going home.
Not at all, because there's a lot we didn't talk about.
Yeah, and I ended up going home and kind of writing out some ideas of like how this could run. And the way I kind of see it is, imagine the affiliate cup being in a true affiliate cup. You have one team, and it's the affiliate, right? So you're not fielding multiple teams from your affiliate. It's a group team effort. Everybody has to go through the open to be on that team. And then from there, whether it be an in-person competition or even a remote competition, you have, say, like 5 weeks where you have to get 6 workouts done, and anybody can do it. Some of them might be individual workouts. Some might be 3-person workouts. Some might be pair workouts. It just varied up.
Mm-hmm.
But then you accumulate enough points, and then you could potentially move on to an in-person competition, like a regional. Maybe then you have to field 8 athletes, 4 men, 4 women, no alternates. Just those are the 4 people that you're competing with. You have X amount of events, and you can spread it up and kind of strategize who's playing in what event. So you might have say, for example, we get to an actual affiliate cup. Maybe there's a marathon in it. You have to have somebody at your affiliate that can go and run a marathon. Maybe you got some heavy lifts. You got somebody that can show off their top end strengths. And then you have, the more couplet, triplet type environments where you just have to be able to work together, kind of like the old school affiliate cup.
Jamie's idea is you allow, again, it gets a little bit away from CrossFit, the methodology. In some ways, the programming is there, but
I understand. It's the affiliate that you're showing off.
Allowing specialists will allow more diversity in the team athletes or diversity in your community, right? So, because I've got guys that are big, strong guys, right? So we got a couple.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a better representation of what the affiliate looks like. Right.
But here's the other thing, and this is a point I did make a day about, and I actually really like that. I want to talk to you more about that, because that's a really cool idea. But one of the things I said to Dave is, Dave's thinking about testing the individual fitness of 4 athletes, and all 4 athletes are going to be tested to their fullest extent. You'll know who the fittest group of 4 athletes are. What we're saying, what Jamie Lee's saying is, you've got a work task, just like the gauntlet, right? You've got this work has to be completed. Now
Yeah,
you need
and you let the team figures out how to get it done.
let the team figure out
Exactly.
how to do it. So you're not actually testing the individual fitness of all 4 athletes. You're saying, get that work done. I don't care who does the work and how they do the work.
Mhm.
Yeah, I support that because that's exactly how we program for it. It's like we do some event is going to be a little higher gymnasticy skill kind of thing, and then we're going to let the big boys eat with some more weighted weightlifting stuff. But it's the team that is the most well-rounded collectively
Mhm.
that typically always finishes.
Yeah.
Look at work. What happens at work when you got a project and you pull people together at work, or your team of people at work. Look what happens in the military when you got a, you want to take you got a certain initiative that you got to accomplish, or you got, a strategy that has to be completed. You got to pull together, and you got to take your team members as the unit leader. You got to take your squad, and you got to put the sniper in this role for protection of everybody, so that everyone else can go out and do their work. And then the people doing the work, you want the fastest person that can lift the freaking sandbags and move those sandbags out of the way, or build a place of cover.
Mhm.
Like you're going to put all the right people in all the right jobs.
Yep.
And if everybody has equal skill sets, certainly then it's less decision making for the coach. But here's the other part. This is the part that I think is important. This is something I want CrossFit to start doing. It increases the value of the coach. And coaching is
I was getting ready to say the same thing. Yeah.
Yep. Because coaches are super important in CrossFit. Look, we want people to get to level 1, level 2. The coach is the most important person in my affiliate is who's coaching, the quality of that coach.
Mhm.
Well, why can't it be the same thing for the teams?
Yeah.
Have a really, really good coach there. And, I say even mic them up and let people listen to
absolutely.
them. Listen to them.
I mean, it kind of goes back to what Dale was talking about with, it being a pressure test.
Yeah.
It's a good way to kind of develop. And, if you have something like this that, maybe we are showing off the top affiliates in the world, or even just the countries, it's an opportunity for, like you said, coaches to kind of get a little bit more exposure and experience dealing with multiple, multiple group environment.
Yeah.
So
what's your thoughts on, would that team need to show some sort of verification that they all worked out in a place for 6 months or 3 months, or like,
Yeah.
what's your requirement?
honestly,
That's the
I think
hardest
that is
fucking thing.
the hardest thing, but it comes back down to you need to be registered at that affiliate. Maybe you're a member at that affiliate. And at the same time, you might have one, say for example, you have somebody that's a games athlete and you've recruited them to come to your affiliate. They're not going to be able to do all the events, so it's like you're spreading out the talent where you have to kind of strategize. You might have one person doing 2 events and
Yeah.
kind of like 2 out of 10 events.
Or just make it to be a team, to be
Fire away.
the
Let's hear
team
it.
competition. Like, you actually have to fucking work out at an affiliate.
Yeah.
Let's start
I mean, that, in the grand scheme of things, that is the idea.
and if you can't be independent, like, how about you actually have to work out in a CrossFit affiliate?
Exactly. And so like any of these like big training camps that are going, like how many of them are actually training out of an affiliate?
Hey,
this isn't a team event. This is an affiliate event.
If you have my vote, all athletes that are at the CrossFit Games have to work out at a CrossFit affiliate. I'm a 100%.
Yeah.
If this business is faltering, as some people have claimed that attendance is falling off, certifications for L1, L2 are falling off, then it is all fucking hands on deck.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend the next 5 years, 10 years with business falling off, propping up fucking games athletes so that they can get followers on Instagram and then leave us and, go on a Rogan podcast and not mention us.
Hypothetically.
I'm not going to do that. It's everybody on board. Reddit, go sign up for an affiliate, your local affiliate, go there and be there a couple days a week to train.
Yeah.
And you know what happens when you have a high level games athlete that actually works out an affiliate? That fucking affiliate goes crazy for them.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely insane. Like, we had a guy here at a gym down the street who started here. He made it to I guess, was it regionals now? I can't remember.
Semifinals.
Yeah. he made it to semifinals, and like not just his gym, but like our gym, the local gyms around here, like really were proud of. His name's Johnny Charles, of what he did, and he works at an affiliate. He's a coach at an affiliate. He's not, you know what I mean? Like that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Alessandra Pacelli has been here her whole career.
Yep.
And now she coaches here. And people are just the new people join, or other people come from other affiliates.
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say they drop in, want to get pictures.
Is that Alessandra? Can I get a picture with her? And that is so awesome. It's awesome for Diablo. It's awesome for Sandra.
It's awesome for CrossFit.
Yeah,
too.
and it's amazing for CrossFit. And if I had my way, if I was in charge, I think that's an absolute requirement. This is who we are.
And you know what? If you put that requirement and an athlete balks back on it, fuck them. Like that tells you exactly who they're out for.
Bye-bye.
And ultimately, the main idea of this whole thing is bringing the affiliate cup back to the affiliate, so it's a representation of CrossFit affiliates. Right now, the way it has been, I mean, I've competed on the affiliate cup at the games 4 years, and it's constantly going back and forth of like, well, how chasing people down. Like you have three athletes, 2 active, 1 alternate, and it's like, how many of them are actually coming out of that gym? That's not a representation of the affiliate. That's just, especially even if they're unassociated with an affiliate itself.
Rich Froning was brilliant with what he did. Like he executed perfectly, and he
could probably still pull a really strong affiliate team in this format.
No question. He absolutely could. So could CJ.
CJ's for sure.
The bulk of him at Invictus. He followed the rules the way the rules are written, and he did it really well. And the athletes went out to, I know like China went out and she lived there and spent a lot of time out there because it pissed Freddie off. But but that is not the spirit of the affiliate cup, and then in the representation of the affiliate.
An affiliate. I mean, is that the spirit of an affiliate? Yeah. Like we're going to rally people to come and just train when there's off hours. Like you're not even doing classes.
Yeah.
Like we could go do that at like a 24-hour fitness if you had open space.
I think what you do, for CrossFit, what you do is you put it out there. Like you put it out there, you say it. You may not have to manage it, you say it, and you hold people to the honor system at first. Yeah, there's always going to be douchebags, and let Hiller take care of those people.
Oh, he would eat it up.
Oh, he would, right? He would and
he'd be outside the door, like.
But that's where, to be honest with you, that's where the Hillers of the world can add a lot of value.
Yeah.
And they do today in terms of accountability for online representation of their workouts, for the online presentation, the video workouts, right? And he calls people out on the videos. David Hippensteel thing, people got upset because he was mean. Well, it was
just holding standards.
It was absurd what that guy was putting on a video and then getting. Can he qualify for the CrossFit Games? Does he deserve his medals? Yes, 100%. Guy's a stud. But did that 1 year, did he just deliver absolute shit on video so he could go to the games again and get his shoes and shirts? Yes, it was. It was shit. And it made us all look bad.
Yeah.
It made us all look bad. And I feel bad for all the other old athletes that were in there with him.
This is the greatest podcast I've ever done. Hands down.
Anyway,
some old fucking salty dudes.
I know. No,
it's good. I like. Listen, I don't mean to like be disparaging against that. I mean to be disparaging against athletes who are assholes.
Yes,
that way.
Yes,
but like we've seen it, man. Like we were there in the beginning when it was about the affiliate.
Yeah,
and people were coming from the affiliate, and I don't think there's anything wrong with trending back towards that way.
No, I agree with you. And I think it's part of bringing it all back.
Trending back, but also updating it.
Yeah.
Make it
right. Yes.
More people to be able to participate.
And I actually I was really impressed that Dave had reached out to me and asked me, for the input. And I was candid with him on things that needed to be done. And it was some of what we just talked about and a couple of other things. Get rid of that goddamn worm. It's so boring to watch. But
for the full weekend.
And I agree, man. Like and it's clear, like they want to make changes to. Listen, I'm the last fucking guy I have no dog in the fight about games.
Right.
I'm just not that guy. But I listen to what you guys say, and it's true. Like, I've been to the game several times. People there only really care about the individual athletes as far as spectating and viewing online.
Yep.
So why not, like, let's just take this games, let's take the team, and if it doesn't work better, we can always go back to finding the four fittest on a team instead of maybe the best overall team, depending on what the task at hand is.
I mean, they could still keep the 4-person team format, but call it the Invitational.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the affiliate cup because it, like we said, it's not representing the affiliates.
Yeah.
Make it the Invitational.
What was the second place team at the CrossFit Games this year?
That's a good question.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
What was the first place team?
I only
I was going to say that. I don't even know.
You could ask that. But it's just like
I think it would just be so much more exciting because you'd have more people from your affiliate buying into it. That you'd have more fans of the sport.
Yeah.
You'd have. It's just. I think there's just a lot of room for growth that way.
And like, hey, all these the training camps are great. I mean, they service a need, but every single training camp should be an affiliate.
That's
Agreed.
right, 100%.
Hands down. That's like, I get it. Like, to be involved in that, you should fly that banner.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And you're going to sell your programming anyway. Now you got the CrossFit affiliate under it. Mm-hmm. You may as well support CrossFit, and CrossFit will support you back. Instead, here's what they do is they go online and they bitch about, this competition wasn't that good, or the judging was good, or why are they doing this for the athletes? They don't give them enough time. They're traveling too far. It's too expensive. There's a long list of stuff that they've got. Oh, I didn't get my revenue fee from my jersey with my name on it, even though I came in 25th place.
Dude,
there's 10 jerseys. How come I didn't get my $5.50 in commissions from Noble? Sorry.
You know what, man? Here's what we're gonna do. Every single person that bitches, and every athlete that bitches about it, you're gonna come to my gym, and I'll let you coach if you got your level 1, and you're gonna coach a class of, you can choose. We can work with the counseling center. We'll go to their gym, and you'll see guys coming in with fucking boots and jeans on, who are happy with the fact that they're working out. Yeah. Or we're going to go up the road to the correctional facility where guys are fucking doing 400-meter runs in slides in the freezing fucking cold and are absolutely thrilled and grateful that you are there coaching them for at least a month. And then you can go back and complain about how terrible your situation is.
I love that idea.
Love that.
Give them some perspective.
Yep.
Like, because it's not.
And meanwhile, Dale's doing that, and all those people are coming in and they're learning about CrossFit. And then you know what they're doing when they get out and they're in their life, they click on you and they follow you, and they're looking at what you are doing, the athlete, right? So Dale's taking those people, he's changing their lives, improving their lives, and then he's making them fans of CrossFit and fans of the CrossFit Games. And
dude, like, the fact that I'm a guest programmer is I don't even, that's something that would amaze me happen. But the cool thing is, like, several of my clients like screenshot the shit to me, or guys that I've worked with in the past are like, holy shit, dude, like, I can't believe like you're the guy that got to do that.
Big time.
And I was like, dude, like, it meant a lot that it was that important to them.
Yeah.
To your point.
Yeah.
How's the documentary doing? Changing gears.
Great, man. Great.
Loved it.
So thank you. The outpouring from the community has been it's been great, dude. We're getting messages every day, just from people. Like, the most important. Here's the best story, hands down. We have a member here. He's like our oldest guy. He's 75. He's an old Army vet. His name's Robert. Just one of the greatest guys that we have here. And the other couple weeks ago, we were doing this stupid 24-hour long max meters on an erg deal. And sure shit, like, Robert comes in at like 8:00 at night to help pitch in and rack up some meters. And in between, we're all sitting down, and he goes, my buddy Chase was here too, who directed the film. He goes, I finally got to watch the documentary, and he's like tearing up a little bit. This is like watching Clint Eastwood kind of like tear up, you know? And he's like, I know you guys don't know a lot about my background, but unfortunately, I lost my son to overdose.
Oh,
And watching that film was able to kind of give me peace with the situation. And I was like, oh shit, man, like that's
Yeah.
why we made it. You know what I mean? Like just to get messages like that, and then just to be able to, like, the first 2 days we were out, like we hit #1 on the iTunes charts there for a little bit, and it's been great. And then just stuff like that, man. Like that's why we did it, just to make people more aware, and understand it's not a to kind of alleviate the stigma, and then get people to understand, like, hey man, CrossFit's a viable solution for.
where is it? Where is it showing? Where is it showing now?
So anywhere that you can rent or download online. So Apple TV, Amazon, YouTube, wherever, just search Small Town Strong and you can rent or buy it now.
Okay,
Highly recommend
I
it.
saw it on Amazon Prime, and it is powerful.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give anything away, but it really tells the story of the impact of the opioid crisis on America, and especially on small towns in Middle America. And it's really tragic, and it really gives you perspective on why we have to be more vigilant with our pharmaceutical industry and pay attention to this stuff, because it clearly they have the chemistry to make this stuff incredibly powerful for good purposes, right? We don't
Right.
want to see someone with cancer,
Yes.
spending a year, suffering in pain, while they're dying. So there's reasons for these things, but there's also significant opportunities for abuse, and it's epitomized with the abuse that took place at the prescription level and on the user level in Middle America. And it's tragic what happened and how it impacted it. But here's the cool story: is what it really underlines the value of a community united together in health and fitness to bring people back from that edge where other things have not worked.
Yep.
Opioid addiction is incredibly complex. There's been a lot of money thrown at it by a lot of different organizations, a lot of nonprofits that are dedicated to it, and few have worked. But Dale is doing it, and he's doing it through CrossFit, and it's really remarkable. And that documentary spells out and punches you in the face. It's going to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
And it was funny when you had Greg Glassman on. He's like, here we all are talking about it, and we're dancing around not trying not to spoil it for people.
Yeah.
But it's going to punch you in the face. You're going to be partway through the movie, you're going to be going, what? Wait a minute, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's sad, and it's powerful, and it really helps you understand it. So you guys, can you give some love to the people that kind of put that whole script together and organized it all so that it came out as good as it did?
Yeah, I mean, there's a handful of people. Honestly, dude, the production and business side of it is a case study of it. It all happened inside the affiliate. Like
Wow.
worlds collided. My good friend Chase Millsap is the producer director. His wife is a producer on it. She was born and raised here in Portsmouth. They met out in LA 10 years ago.
Wow.
During COVID, they wanted to get the hell out of LA, so they moved here. Chase started coming to the gym pretty regularly and would just kind of carry around a camera for about 4 years and collect footage here and there. And then we got two more executive producers, David Harden and Sharon Shindell. They're out in LA, and they were awesome. more from like a relationship advisory role. Because it was Chase like running and grunting with his brother. This is like complete like hillbilly like incestuous thing that we had going on because his brother is an award-winning cinematographer for National Geographic.
Oh wow.
So when we made the decision that we were going to do this and do principal photography last summer, so the summer of 22, we paid for Spencer to come out here for 2 weeks and run and gun shoot. That's why like some of the shots look amazing. And that's
Yeah.
because Spencer has that background. And then went through the editing process. And I tell you what, a guy who's really instrumental that's not a producer or doesn't get any credit is Tyson Oldroyd.
Mm.
He was the guy once we had like a rough cut. I was like, hey, dude, I want you to check something out because I need to know if this is shit, if this is good. So send it to Tyson, and he was like, dude, this is like one of the best CrossFit related documentaries I've ever seen in my life.
And for those that don't know, Tyson has been involved with a number of CrossFit documentaries, produced and edited and created several CrossFit Games documentaries. Very good ones.
A lot of content, even in the journal.
Oh yeah, and a lot of content in the journal.
Yeah,
stories. Yep.
Yeah. And so he's like, I'm going to send this to the executive team. And I'm going to try to do everything I can do to get HQ CrossFit to get behind it. And then like Nicole Carroll was one of the first ones. She was like, holy shit, like this is like, we got to do everything we can do. And then like, like more behind the scenes. So we get this thing, we've got it together. So this is like April. So Tyson goes, dude, everybody's on board. Like, we want to promote this at the games. And Chase and I were like, holy shit. Like that's every bit of 6 figures worth of earned media.
Yeah. Good question.
So we're like, yeah, let's do it. Hung up the phone and we were like, oh shit. Like we got to sell this thing now. Like we had a promotional deal before the project was even bought or sold by anybody. So we went, and then luckily we got a distribution deal through a company called Nacelle, and they're a distributor for the film. And here we are, dude.
It's phenomenal, and it seems to be gaining momentum within the community.
Yeah. No one like if the hardest part is just getting people to watch it. Like that's with anything.
Yeah.
Like
well,
the product is great. Like we know that. And then once you see it, like it will have an impact on you no matter what.
Yeah.
The impact it is for me, and this is why, again, another thing that is super powerful with CrossFit. And I had this conversation, I think, with Katie Hogan about you and Matt Schindeldecker and other and affiliates being around other affiliates. Affiliates look for help and assistance and motivation from the newer affiliates. And they expect that from CrossFit HQ. We started, and Jamie Lee, when he started his, and I started Diablo, we weren't looking to HQ to hold us accountable, to motivate us to do any of that. I looked around at other CrossFit affiliates, just like I do when I step onto the floor in a workout. I kind of eyeball someone. I'm like, okay, I'm going to see if I can hang with that person. And I look at other affiliates doing it. And when I talk to you and Matt about what you guys are doing, I have a little pang of guilt internally. And that pang of guilt is, well, man, I need to be doing something. I need to find something to help, and I've been working with Matt to try and get a juvenile probation program here. I talk about your documentary and what you've done a lot. But we out here in California are suffering from an opioid epidemic and fentanyl crisis as well with our homeless. And it's horrible. What it's doing in San Francisco is just appalling. And I'm thinking there's got to be a way that we could do something similar. And that's the the beauty of having relationships with other affiliate owners, because we will hold each other accountable, but we are also going to hold each other to a higher standard, either directly or subconsciously. Like with me, I measure myself against what you're doing. I measure myself against what Matt's doing. I measure my affiliate. There's the woman up in Detroit. I was talking to Savon about it. The woman in Detroit that has the youth program.
Yeah.
And he had her on his podcast, and it was awesome. These are kids that are coming out of troubled home, out of homes, and she's pulling them together in a CrossFit class 3 days a week. And the police come and they help and they watch. The story was like, and all I was thinking is, God, Diablo, arguably one of the largest and maybe one of the more successful gyms, CrossFit gyms in the world. And I'm listening to this podcast. My wife and I are listening to the podcast with this woman in Detroit with a small little affiliate that's working with these kids. And all I was thinking is, we suck compared to her.
Yeah.
No, dude.
I know, but you know what I mean? I mean, it's, and that's driving. That's a driving force for me. It makes me want to help. It makes me want to figure out, what can I do to give back? And that's why it's important for CrossFit affiliates to look to other CrossFit affiliates. Don't wait for CrossFit to give you some motivational idea, something. Look to other affiliates. Look to Small Town Strong. Look to, Shindle Decker, what he's doing. Look to that woman in Detroit that's working with kids there. Like, those are cool ideas, and those are life-changing, and your community will get behind you.
Yeah. Just look into your own community and see what the need is, because you have something that will help.
Yeah.
No matter the situation, no matter the societal ill, you have something that will help. It's just a matter of deploying that asset in the right way, with the right people.
Greg Glassman, someone pulled that. And so a couple people have talked about it and reposted it, but it was the CrossFit book on Instagram pulled it. It was Greg Glassman standing in front of an audience. He goes, "Hey, I tell people, write down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
6 months from now, what you want to be better at. I don't care what it is. You want to be a better dad. You want to be a better, spouse. You want to be better at your job. You want to, get more of your book written, whatever it is, because I don't care what it is. Just write it down." He goes, "And then I want you to do CrossFit 3 days a week, 4 days a week. I want you to come do CrossFit." And he goes, "And then at the end of 6 months, you open up and read that paper and see if you're not closer or further away from that goal."
Yep.
And 100% of the time, if they do it, it's like literally the solution for everything. Yeah. And as unscientific as that sounds, it's remarkable what happens in these CrossFit gyms. It really is.
Yep. I would just say, we don't have to fucking prove it. You have to prove it doesn't work.
That's a better way to put it. Yeah.
I love that. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
We do CrossFit for 6 months and prove it.
Yeah, dude. The last thing I'll say is I was at some public policy school anyways, and it was just verbal masturbatory fucking diarrhea going on. And they're talking about, what's the study on this? And what does the study say on this? And finally I go, listen, some people do studies and some people do things we're studying about. So I would much rather be doing something than somebody study what I'm doing instead of being the one doing the study, because you guys are going to be behind no matter what.
Yeah.
Just get out there and fucking do something. It's like,
you're so right on.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I may have to tweet that later today.
Sorry.
I'll tag you though, I swear.
We're getting an explicit rating on this one.
Yeah, it's exactly right. We did too many people, because everybody wants the science. What's the science, man? What's the research? Yeah, let me tell you what. Just do it. CrossFit works.
It's like, what is CrossFit?
Yeah.
Well, come to the gym. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't even need to tell you.
Don't need to tell you. Costly, varied, functional, executed high intensity. Just show up.
All right. Well, we solved a lot of problems today. We fixed CrossFit. We fixed the CrossFit Games. We fixed teams. We've fixed the opioid addicts. We've done it all today.
90 minutes. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Not bad.
Appreciate you being on, man.
Yeah,
brother. I'm not only a participant. I'm a huge listener. I paid the massive sponsorship fee on Doc Spartan
down the low rate.
Yeah. My favorite business negotiation ever is like, we agreed to something, and then Craig goes, "Well, how about half of that?" I was like, deal.
Sold.
Yeah, we're not. If I can help Doc Spartan, that's awesome.
I
You guys
appreciate you guys.
Doc Spartan.
Seriously.
How you're
Yeah.
tying that all together is brilliant, by the way, too. And everybody will get it. If you watch the documentary and you'll see what Doc
Yes.
Spartan's all about. By the way, buy their products. We love the Doc Spartan, especially the combat ready ointment. That is fantastic stuff. But anyway, it is good quality product. But more than that, you buy and pay that product, you're helping support what Dale's doing in Portsmouth, Ohio.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
it's
really cool.
it's everything's made by hand, and it's
Yeah.
made by, and those hands are attached to fucking really good people. I'm just honored to be around.
Yeah, so cool.
Amazing.
All right, dude. Thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of the week of the programming, guys. Love you.
Will
Thank
do.
you, guys.
Thank
Don't
you.
kill us, bro.
All right, guys. See you. Bye bye.
See ya.
Till next time.